Okay, you know what time it is. It's Saturday, so that calls for a back and shoulder pump. Now, I think today we're going to be starting off with some pull downs. I don't think we've done pull downs in a minute. I think last time we tried to do them, the the stacks were taken, so we had to do some pull-ups, and that shouldn't be an issue. You know, we love our pull-ups here. I think that's one of the Honestly, that's probably one of the primary reasons my back grew a bunch because I started incorporating them and I started to slow things down. So do not sleep on that assisted pull-up bar. If let's say you're having a little bit of trouble with pull-ups in general, sometimes what you can do is just look up a band style type of pull-up where you can set up that way and you can get a little bit of resistance and it'll help you push up a little bit. Or you can also do the assisted pull-up machine, which is similar to the same thing. It's just a little bit less risky because when it comes to the bands, I've seen some incidents on TikTok, on Instagram of the bands kind of snapping and then hitting people right in the middle. And let me tell you, that does not look comfortable. So try to find a variation that is safe for you and just see how you can progress from there if you are having any issues. Now, if you're someone that is just so fucking strong when it comes to pull-ups, kudos to you because man, I be struggling usually when I start taking them when I started doing them slow and controlled. Man, it makes them so hard. So if you're doing them slow and controlled and you're doing a bunch, man, you're fucking strong as hell, and I'm pretty sure you have some crazy lats. Now, I've seen some folks at the gym also do some weighted pull-ups. Man, I think I need to get to that point because that seems pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully at some point we end up getting there. Maybe we'll practice little by little and we start to introduce some weighted pull-ups. But in the meantime, I think we got to stick to the assisted just because we're not around the rep range where we can justify adding some weight to pull up. So let's take it one step at a time. So we're going to do some pull downs. I'm thinking if both of the stacks are taken, we have another type of isolation machine that we can also use. That's on the corner of the gym. So maybe we'll just use that one. Or if the stacks are not taken, then then we'll just use the stacks to do pull downs. And then after that, I'm thinking we'll be doing some rows. Anybody? We'll be doing some rows, and we'll be doing not triceps, sorry, shoulders afterwards. Sorry, it's because people kind of just cut across right now, and it caught me off guard what we were talking about. I just need to make sure we're being safe. But okay, back what we're talking about. We're gonna do back. We're gonna start with some pull downs. We have two options, or three really. Yeah, worst case scenario, we do pull ups, right? I think that should be fine. And then after that, we're gonna move over to some crossbody work. That should be no issue because we can really grab at any stack. And then we're gonna start on some rows afterwards. I'm thinking if that row machine that we like, that's a bit new to the gym, if it's not taken, then I think that's what we're gonna be doing. I think that's what we're gonna be doing. If not, then I think we're gonna just do some non-supported or some non-chest supported rows. And I think that should be fine, similar to the last session that we had. Now, I typically like the chest supported ones because I can really get a super, super deep stretch. And I usually save my lower back a little bit because sometimes when we're doing that one in particular without the chest supported, my lower back can sometimes come into play and it's not the most comfortable thing a day after. So I usually prefer the chest supported ones. Now, I wish that the gym would have the one where you're kind of almost like leaning a little bit forward at an angle, and then you kind of let me know if you know which one I'm talking about, because I can't think about it in the top of my head. But you're kind of leaning forward, and then you unrack it, and you start doing some rows that way. We need one of those at the gym because I've seen some crazy ones that look super super sick. So maybe at some point, maybe the gym listens to us and they end up getting one of those, because man, I think those would be super super dope for back gains. Hopefully. Now we're most likely gonna end up doing some of those lateral races with the cable ties, because those have been super super fire. I told a friend of ours at the gym, shout out to Daniel, about those in particular, and then he was telling me the other time, because he and we usually kind of like, I show up, I'm kind of like getting out as he's kind of coming in, and so our schedule's a little bit the opposite, and so I was able to catch him a little bit early on to his workout as I was walking out, or as I was finishing up my workout, and he was telling me how he started incorporating those lateral races and how much he liked them. And so I was telling him, yeah, dude, I ever since I started incorporating them, they're just so good, and I've been feeling the craziest pump. So I suggest you do not sleep on those lateral races with the little attachment, with the kickback attachment for your ankles. You can put it on your wrist, and you can do it that way, or you can just look at any of my videos for shoulders and you can see what we end up using, because majority of the time we're doing that one. And then we're gonna, hopefully we get to do some reverse pec deck, because that one's more like it for me. I feel like I can get a better mind muscle connection with that one in particular, as opposed to just doing it with a cable stack. And I think that's just personal preference. That's why sometimes I tell people, if you have the opportunity to choose something that you like, I say do it, because if you're doing that movement because you like it and it's feeling good for you, you're gonna want to do it more often. You're gonna want to go harder in it. So try to pick movements that you think are good for your specific body in particular. Now, this upcoming week, or this week coming up, we are picking up Jasmine. Man, it seems like time went by so so fast. We were talking about it a little bit, because I was like, man, I can't wait till you get back, because you know, we a lot of the times we haven't had like a vacation where we're like super super apart for like a while, and so it's kind of like the first time in a minute. And I was already missing her like the first day, and after a while we're just kind of talking about how time was gonna go by so fast, and look at us now, we're literally about to pick her up this upcoming week. So we can't wait. We can't wait. Anyways, we're gonna see if we catch any crazy traffic on the way to the gym. We're maybe around 10, maybe even 15 minutes, just depending on how packed it is here, because we're already catching traffic now as we speak. So I will cut this car talk a bit short, and we are gonna move over now to the gym. Cross your fingers that we get access to the machines that we want. I'll see you guys there. Let's go ahead and let's do our first set. We kind of warmed up for one. We actually took about 30 to 20 minutes to get over here, because it's there's quite the event outside. So everything was taken for like a 4 or 5 block radius. So I had to kind of park pretty far away, and then I walked like 10 minutes. But I spent a bunch of time trying to find parking, which was a bit of the unfortunate part. Our pre-work already kind of kicked in while we were walking over here, so I think that should be fine. Let's take out the belt. We're gonna use these. I don't want to use the Gym Reaper ones because I'm too lazy. These I can kind of just wrap around. Hopefully they don't let me down this time. Let me change the sound real quick. All right. Check out this reminder. That's what we're gonna listen to. Wait for like maybe 2 more. Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and do 72.5 for this next one. What I'm gonna do is maybe switch the angle for you guys, give you guys a bit of a front view. Ooh. All right, let me put up the exposure just a tiny bit. It's looking a little dark from my side. There we go. Much better. Okay. Let me make sure this thing's on me. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm using a little 2.5 because this thing only goes up to up by tenths, and I think if we try to do 80 again, we're not gonna do solid reps. So for our top set for the second one, or second top set, I think 72.5 would be pretty good. I'm gonna take maybe like around a minute, and then we'll start up. Luckily, it's not so busy at the gym, so maybe after we're done, we'll have access to one of those. Pretty sure like any cable stack, which is nice. All right, this will get us through this one. There it is. It's better. All right, let's do it.
2 more.
Nice. Let's start the 2.5.
Sorry, if you take over the queue after this. Right, take over the queue.
Okay, we're gonna do one more like that. I think we're gonna stick to 70 for the third one, and then we're gonna go do the cable set that we like on the other side. Okay. Now I'm gonna take about a minute to 2 minutes, and then we'll start this off. Worst case scenario, if the cable stack that we like is taken, we'll move to the one right in front of us. And I think that'll be pretty good. We'll see. We shall see. Man, today's feeling pretty good. Let me make sure. There we go. Okay. Let's do 70. Let's see how this goes. Alright. This will get us through it. The song and him. Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead. And let's do the cable stack right in front of us. I think that'll be good. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this next one. We're gonna save for two of them. Now, just based on how fast we've been doing these, I think today's gonna go by pretty fast, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm gonna start it with my left on this one, and then just match my right. This thing's already kind of pretty much set up, so what I'm gonna do is maybe we'll start off with 67. What I like about this specific machine here, it has these little almost feet to it, right? And so when I'm kind of pulling, I can kind of use that against it, and so it stabilizes me a little bit more. Some of the other cable stacks, you kind of have to pull away hella far, and then you're destabilized, and then you're more focused on not letting the weight kind of push you back than anything. So as long as you can stabilize as much as possible, you're gonna be able to use that muscle group as much as possible, and that's what we're aiming for. Okay, let's do 67. See how that goes. Now, let's hope we don't fucking rip a lat or something, because you never know. Let me change this on. Or it was. All right. Wish me luck. Okay, that was good. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take maybe 20, 30 seconds, because if I don't take a break in between, I'm gonna run out of energy halfway through the next set, and it's not gonna be ideal. So let's give it maybe 20, 30 seconds,
Yeah, you too, man.
and then we'll hit it again.
A year and a half, a couple years. Yeah.
Pretty good overall. I feel like
All right, so
I'm like feeling like I'm close to burnout. Like I'm working real hard,
Yeah.
but it's all like it's all good stuff.
So good, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
let's do some.
So you're in that like 6 to 7 range out of 10. And it's like you got good moments. Sometimes you're like,
It's just like, what would happen if I just had to chill and you know, for like a couple months? Like,
be great. Yeah, fucking great. Yeah. Yeah. You got a purple hair?
Oh yeah. It feels like it's become.
That's just shit. You walked you got purple last summer?
Yeah, that was like when I was starting with it. And now I'm like, this is just part of my
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It's lit. It's lit.
What you know about it?
Man, whole bunch of shit, honestly. It's long story short, I moved this winter back to the DC area.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is my last actual gym session here.
Wow.
Like, for maybe a few years, I don't know when. So, starting a new job. You know, like when I started here, I was doing fitness training stuff.
Yeah, you were in Tesco, or you go do that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Good memory, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still over there. My last my last gym session actually here today. It's coming up St. Rita.
all right,
And,
I'm gonna go drink some water. We gotta do one more just like that, and then move over to some rows.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's where I'm with that thing. That's cool.
Let's do this next one.
From January, actually,
I think from the 67,
so
we're gonna drop down to maybe 60, and maybe we could just go a little bit slower, and then just really dig deep with my elbows. Let's see how that goes.
It's a lot. So I'll take a lot of remember, so it's a whole story I can get into. That's like the big thing. So
She's already back there.
she went back to January.
Nearby. You can do that.
Yeah. I'll be having to come back. Very long waiting. That's the big thing.
Alright, cool.
There's a lot of big deals. A new job, new location. So.
Well, I got to see you.
Yeah, man, you see.
Congrats on the
Yeah.
thing and God.
Nice to see.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go in? I'll talk a little bit. Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good.
Nah, you can go ahead and go ahead. I didn't start you. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. I won't be that talking person, man.
I'll be that person.
Nah, I'm gonna come over here and speak a little bit, but I mean, I think that's it. For that, yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, those
Trying to rekindle relationship with my mom. That's a little rocky. I mean that personal. It's not personal shit, but it's my life. I mean, like you got family shit. Smooth kind of touching with some people. My dad, I'm trying to build a relationship. That was never really born. That kind of thing.
just and they're all in there.
That was good. Let's go ahead. And let's match on our right.
It's like, you watch basketball?
And then I think I see a row machine that's calling our name.
Miami.
Let's do it.
First thing in my head, you go back to Cleveland, one of the Cleveland. You know what I mean? So if I came out here, do my thing. I don't know if I want to ring out here, but I got a good experience. Not there, experience. So I'm headed back on this big thing out there. It should be good. So I'm going through my mind. This apartment, it's not good. It's not good. It's denied my shit. Somebody's for the job, city, Baltimore, so they denied it. He's out in Chicago now, so that's why I came to the gym. I was like, you know what? We're here, figured out Monday. I'm gonna go to the gym, train hard as possible. I've been here for like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm ready. I got here like. Have you been working out those?
Yeah.
You working out?
Yeah, I've been doing it.
Remember anything for sessions we did and stuff? Like,
I mean, I pretty much was doing the same kind of stuff.
yeah.
In fact, I probably should like mix it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
It's good. You're strong right now, just listen down, kind of lift, like you have a goal at all. Or...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with what it's going. Something like you're like it's a goal.
Kind of matter. You're not trying to get super big or anything.
All right, we're done here. Let's go ahead
I'm trying to like get good.
and let's move over to some roast. Okay, we got lucky. We got access to this one, so let's go ahead and start off with the top handles, and then I'm thinking we'll move over to the bottom ones. Just go as crazy as we can. Hopefully, it's a good day today. Is what I'm hoping for. All right. Let's do it. That's perfect. Now, I think we can do 180s. Let's take this for a spin. See how they feel. Sad. So switch this out. Okay. I think we're gonna do just one more of these. Let's switch them. I'm thinking maybe 170. Just because that last one was tough. And ever since we did rows just like these, maybe about a week ago, I think I fucked up my chest. Cause I think I had this way too low where it was like hitting the middle part of my chest, and it just, I don't know, it's been hella fucking sore for the past maybe 2 weeks. And I hope that I ain't messing anything up. I kind of feel like I'm kind of pressing against this, but it doesn't feel too crazy. Let's switch the song and we'll start up. That's what we're gonna listen to. Long piece, right black. Let's go. All right. Okay. Let's start down a little bit. Let's do I think 160 for maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna use these. Hey, my music though. That was the extra 3 or 4 that we needed. This switch the angle for you guys, and let's move on to the bottom. Okay, let's do one more just like that. Let's let's go from 160 to 150. I think that'll be good. Luckily, the hard part's almost done because back is really the tough part of the session today. And then shoulders is a bit of a breeze. It's not as taxing, so I'm looking forward to that to kind of relax a little bit, even though it's not really relaxing because we're still trying to go hard. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it's not too crazy. I think what makes up for it is that it's really cool up here, and also there's hardly anyone here, so it it's always nice to have a bit of an empty gym. You can really just play around with everything. So I'm pretty happy. It's also been a really good day, and our camera's fine too. Because remember yesterday, my dumbass ended up dropping the camera from like my height, and the last thing I need to do is replace this thing in the land. So let's just be more careful. So what I ended up doing is just taking apart the little cage that I have, and I think what ended up happening was that the cage was loose, and so then that made my camera fall. So I tightened everything up once I got home. Oh no, this morning, just to make sure everything's good because we do not want that accident to happen again. Okay, I don't think we're gonna use the straps. I'm gonna be honest. Let's just go straight into it. Let's pause at that. Uh, I am not gonna lie to you guys. Back day is fucking kicking my ass. Even though we're having a good day, it's kicking our ass. Oh man. Now I'm gonna try to get maybe 1 to 2 more. Okay, that's good. Let's clean up and let's go move over to reverse peg deck and start our rear delts. Okay. We'll do this next one now. Still. Okay. Now, let me show this thing on me. There we go. Okay. We're gonna stay here for a total of 4, and then after this, we'll move over to a cable stack and do those lateral raises that we like. I think I'm just gonna record the first 2, just so I don't make it any more repetitive. I don't make the video any longer than it needs to be. So I'll just record the first two, go hard on 04, and then I'll see you guys for some lateral races. I got to get used to this little format that we're doing now because every time we start this one out first, as opposed to the other one like we typically do, I feel like we're almost done right after we're done with this specific exercise. So, and then I end up breaking my heart by remembering that I have to fucking do lateral races afterwards for like 4 sets. Man, okay, let's do it. I'm gonna take maybe 20, 30 seconds, and then we'll hit our right for 8-2. All right, let's hit it for 8. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick pause and hit our right for 2 more. And I think we're gonna drop down a little bit on the next one. All right. Okay. I am thinking that on the second one, I'll do it maybe both hands at the same time. And then on the third and fourth, I'll see what I end up doing. Sometimes I change my mind and I end up just doing one hand at a time. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me do both hands. It just really depends on what you want to do. Now, some people find it way harder to do both hands at the same time. Some people find it a little bit easier because you're not already pre-exhausted. Let's say on the hand you start off with, and then you move over to the other one and you can't get the same amount of reps. So some people like it, some people don't. It just kind of depends on personal preference. So I kind of switch back and forth. One set, I do one hand at a time. The other set, 2 hands at a time. It just really depends. Okay. Since this one's not as taxing, I think we can just take a 30-second pause. So maybe like a minute. And then we'll start this one off again. Let's try this first. Let's stay here for 2 more. I'll see you guys for some live races up next. Let's finish off today. We're gonna sit here and do some ladder races with this one. Let's set it up. Alright. So we're gonna set it around yay high. Just to make sure I get a good stretch here and go from there. Okay. Now for our right side, we're gonna match it. So we're gonna start with 22.5 for hopefully 4. And then I think after that we ended up hitting it for 19.5 for maybe 3 to 4 more. So let's replicate that. Alright, here's for the 4.
Alright, ready.
Alright, that's all. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna save for 4. I think I'm just gonna record the second one. I'll see you guys right now. I'm gonna go drink some water. I think for the second one, we'll do 20. Start out with our left and then just match it with our right. See how that goes. Get 6 on the right. Alright, let's drop it. Let's do maybe 3 more on each side. Nice. Okay. You guys are done. I'm gonna do 2 more of these. I'll see you guys for the post down up next. Okay. Let's see what kind of damage we did today. Okay. Let's take a look at the back. Okay. Let's get a bit of a close up and then let's go home. I'm already pretty gassed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let's go a little bit more further away. Nice. Man. Okay. Let's get one more of the back shots and then we'll finish off today's session. I can't wait to get home and eat something. Okay, that's it. Let's go home. Today was a good session. We got to walk quite a bit because there's a bit of an event happening around the lake here where the gym is located. So we have to park maybe around like 7 blocks maybe. But luckily, we're gonna get our steps in. We have some of Nick's ice cream. Let me actually show you guys which one we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat this one right here once we get home, and that's gonna be our post-workout treat. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday because you guys get this Monday for some legs, some biceps, and some forearms. Remember, stay consistent. Don't skip your cardio.